Hello, my name is Selena.
And my name's Theoni, and you are listening to Piping Hot.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Piping Hot. We are so happy that you've joined us today for another fabulous episode.
We are very excited.
As you yawn.
I was telling Selena, I didn't wake up from a nap that long ago. I don't know why I've been so tired lately. I literally just cannot have energy. I don't know what's happening. So, anyways, I'm still waking up a little, but we're here. Yeah. We're vibing. We're having a good day.
Yeah, I'm actually the opposite. I have been going to sleep the same time that I have been, but then waking up earlier, and I have so much energy. But I'm trying to conserve it because I'm going to need it next week for Vegas.
I am so excited for that
Me
trip.
too.
I am ready to just pop off.
I know. I'm so excited. I just need a vacation. I just need to go away. I deserve this, okay?
No, you do. You do.
Thank you. Thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I am so tired, like I said, but I'm just honestly, I haven't been super busy at work, like I've been telling you. I feel like it's the same story every day. So I'm just trying to find ways to fill my day. So I've been trying to write a little more, or trying to do whatever, trying to cook a little more, or just I don't know, just keep myself moving a little, because when I'm sitting all day, it's just ugh. So
I don't, because I love sitting all day.
Yeah, but days on days on days, it's just ugh. Is this my life, bro? Ugh. But yeah,
that is my life.
Yeah. I posted this on my Instagram story the other day, though, which you responded to. I baked cookies, and I accidentally yielded 48 cookies by accident. So
Did you cook the whole thing? How did you
No, I
do
just
that?
didn't realize that the recipe that I used, the Nestle Toll House on the back of the cookies, yielded 48 cookies. So I was just started going just with the proportions they said. I didn't think twice about it, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is 48 cookies.
Yeah, you just suddenly had 48.
Scooping, and I was and they were good sized cookies too. So
damn. Yep. Well, you know what? Good for you. I haven't baked in forever. Maybe that's what I should do.
You should. It's fun.
I know.
Yeah, it's fun. How's everything going with you?
It's going good. Work is picking up, which is so ironic, because I feel every single time I need to revise, or every single time I am on PTO, or I'm gonna go on PTO, it picks up. And I'm I'm sorry.
Of course.
Why? How is that timing? How? Someone, the universe, tell me, please.
But isn't that a good thing that you don't have to deal with it if you're gone? Or is it more difficult because you have to kind of pick up the pieces when you get back?
It's kind of both, but in this situation, thankfully I'm not responsible for stuff yet. It's just that I have to catch up and be hey, can we connect what was discussed on this meeting or whatever. So I just have to catch up. Thankfully, I'm not responsible for anything yet. But then when I am responsible for stuff, that's when it gets tricky for out of offices. But
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it's going good. Writing wise, I am revising revision 7 for the second time, and it's going really well, actually.
Good.
Yeah. The thing is that it's taking forever. It takes forever, because I'm slowly going through it, and I'm critically thinking about the info that I'm telling the readers, but then the sentence structure, and if everything makes sense. And so it takes forever to do one chapter. And so my goal is to finish this revision before the end of the month, because like I said, work is going to start picking up, and it's just going to get so crazy. So but yeah, I'm feeling really good about it.
Good. I'm so glad. That's a good spot to sit in. Even if you know it's going to take a while, you're just I know that it's in the right direction, the way I want it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I forgot to tell you, I was going to tell you this before, but unfortunately it's just going to make it in the podcast. I unfortunately got a rejection from an agent like 2 days ago.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Selena.
That was
How
a little
are you feeling
shitty,
about
but
it?
it was fine. I read the email and then I just like, I was like, okay, cool. Distracted myself, did something that made me feel good.
Good.
But I'm feeling a lot better
Okay.
these past few days, so.
Okay. Yeah, like how does that work? Do they like give you feedback with it? Do they just like thank you for the email? Like,
Yeah, so unfortunately she had my full book and she didn't give me any feedback on it, which like is not typically what you're supposed to do. Like they're supposed to like tell you at least one thing that they didn't connect with. And so that's kind of unfortunate because I rely on that to give me feedback so then I can go back and adjust. But
Yeah.
she didn't tell me anything. So I was like, well, shit. So
that's
I was like, damn
unfortunate
it.
because it's
I
like,
know.
okay, if I'm gonna get turned down, like I at least want to know, like, okay, well, what can I do to like avoid this in the future, like improve?
Exactly.
Like at least give me some constructive criticism.
Yes, because she had the full book. Like she, even if she didn't read the full thing and she got like a fourth of a way through it or whatever, like I would have at least liked something, like just one little thing. But it's
How
okay.
many agents have you sent it out to?
Only 4.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because I know you're like, well, I'm going to send it out to the 4, but I'm going to wait on the others because I want to like.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm hoping to finish this revision and then send out to more agents.
Nice.
So. But also though, the manuscript that I sent her, the agent who rejected me, was horrible. It was so bad because I like rushed through the revision. So like a part of me like understands why she said no because I'm like, it was a hot mess. Like girl was a hot mess. So
yeah, like it seems like you're handling it well and like good for you, but like it's never like a good feeling. So I get that.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, I think that's it for my updates.
All right. Well, what are you reading, watching, listening to, consuming?
Well, what are you drinking?
Oh yeah, water.
Water. Very nice. Very nice. I'm drinking my sparkling water. I'm fancy.
Yeah, fancier than me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Reading, watching, listening, consuming. What am I reading? So I finished The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim, which is a young adult fantasy, and it's like the second book in the Six Crimson Cranes duology. So I just finished that up. And it was fine. It was like a little disappointing, which always kind of sucks. But I was living for the romance. Like the romance was so well written and it was just so cute. And so that was the only saving grace.
Okay, so book. At least there was something to kind of get you to the end, you know?
Yeah, but that's okay. And now I am doing a buddy read of Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, which is an adult fantasy. It's meh. It's meh. It's like sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you. Sometimes when I read books, I'm like, oh, this got published? Like this got published?
And you're like, if this got published, there's got to be hope for me.
Yes, exactly. And so I'm like reading this adult fantasy, right? It's my first Chloe Gong book. She wrote These Violent Delights, which like blew up on TikTok. And I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, if she could get away with that, I could get away with the bullshit that I've written. Yeah. Like, it's like, there's so many like, not plot holes, but there's so many like, discrepancies. Like everything is so inconsistent and I'm like, she like contradicts herself of like the world and it doesn't make any sense. So
you can't do that with fantasy because
I know
if you get the sense that the author doesn't even understand the world, how is the reader going to?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like constantly questioning like different things because I'm like, well, you said this previously, but now this is happening and it's so it's been a fun time. So
interesting.
What are you reading?
I keep yawning. If you guys hear my voice go weird, like that's why. But no, I am not reading anything currently. I'm about to start Lizzie Blake's Best Mistake, which is a book I've been wanting to read for a while, but I took a little break from reading because I was like, I just can't. Because I like binged read. Have you heard of the series like Praise by Sarah Kate? It's like the Salacious Players Club. books. Yeah. So I had read the first 3 and I was like, I'm not going to read them anymore. But I saw them pop up on my Kindle Unlimited, and you know what? I was like, I'm going to finish the series. So I read the last 2 in the series called Highest Bidder and Mercy.
How was it?
I mean, they were what it was.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, though. One of the books I had a tough time with because it was a 35-year age gap between a 21-year-old girl and like a 56-year-old man or whatever.
Shut up.
And guess what the kink was?
Stop. No, I don't even. Why?
It was the daddy kink.
No, and you.
Daddy kink. And he was like, and they were like, some people might think it's weird, but it works for us because, like, whatever. I was like, no, he literally could be your father.
Yes. See, that's not funny anymore. I like the daddy kink when it's, like, ironic, okay? That's the only reason why I like. But that is not ironic, and that's too far
like,
for
that's
me.
Literally your father.
No.
Sit down.
No.
Yeah, so that was that was tough. That was tough.
Oh, no. That makes it even worse with the age gap. Because, like, I can do, like, right, Daddy Phantom Hands, right? Oh, that's so funny, right? But not that. That's a different type, okay? That's a whole different category we're in.
I can't with that.
Wow. Wow, you're brave that you went through that.
Yeah. I had to. At that point, I was like, you know what? I'm committed. I have to see this through, so.
It makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
What
nice.
have you been watching?
Okay, so Jack and I watched 2 movies. One of them is called Your Name, and the other one is called Suzume, which is like, they're both kind of like anime films.
Cool.
But they were so amazing. Like, Your Name is the one that got the director, I don't know his name, but that film basically, like, shot him to stardom because it was so good. It's so gorgeous. The story is heart-wrenching. Like, I was sobbing. Like, sobbing. Like, it was like, it's like star-crossed lovers, and it's, oh my God, it was so good. And then Suzume, same director. It came out earlier this spring. The guy in it, the main love interest character, is so hot. I could not. Like, I was like, why do you do this to me?
Are you so fine?
Yes! Why are you so fine? But it was such a good movie, and I was, like, bawling at the end of it as well. Like, it's just, the message is so good in both movies. But I wanted to watch it because one of my beta readers had told me that when she was reading my book, she got, like, the same vibes of those movies. Well, that's good
to hear.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I need some inspiration as I go into this revision. So I was like, okay, let's watch it. I heard it's really, really good. It's similar to, it gives off the same vibes of my book, whatever, da-da-da. And then I just, like, cried the entire, like, I didn't even, like, study the film or anything. I just, like, cried.
You were just like, yeah, you're like, I just felt too much.
Yes!
Too much.
Yeah, really. But super, super good.
Nice.
And then I also watched the 2005 Pride and Prejudice film on Netflix because I am a hoe for that version. So
nice.
So good. Okay, what have you been watching?
Same thing as usual. Love Island UK, which the season's gonna be done in the next few days.
Nice.
Which I'm gonna have, like, withdrawals when it's done. And then I'm making my way through Always Sunny still.
Nice, yeah.
And then I did see Oppenheimer on Sunday, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. What are your thoughts?
I liked it. Like, I thought it was well done, but I think it took me a while to figure out what was going on because there was, like, so many different timelines and so many different characters and so many different things. Like, it was, like, a good movie, but it's one of those movies where I'm like, oh, it's gonna get all this, like, award buzz and all this stuff, and I'm like, I felt like there's so many good movies out there. Like, it was fine, but it's just like one of those movies I feel like is way overhyped.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it was, like, kind of hard to follow. Like, it was like, what, like, you get there, it opens, and then it just goes, and you're like, what is happening? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly.
Oh my, but what like rocked me is, like, how many people were in the film that, like, I knew that were, like, big names.
It took me a while because I kept doubting myself. Like, the guy, I don't even remember what his name was. It's
I know
Bernard
who you're talking
from
about. I know it is!
I was like, that's not
Right?
Bernard. And then I convinced myself it wasn't. And I kept looking at him and I was like, I think that's Bernard.
That's Bernard. Isn't that crazy?
Yo,
Isn't that
I made
crazy?
a TikTok a while back about how, like, Bernard was basically, like, my sexual awakening, right?
Yeah.
To see him now, I'm like, is that what my sexual awakening has turned into? Like, I was just like, wow, you have aged.
Well, oh my God, wait, how old is he now? Because when did the Santa Claus come out?
I think the first one came out like
1990 something?
1998. I think.
Okay, yes, that's what I thought. It was 98. Yeah, I guess I don't know how old he is, but yeah, that was
Which
him.
is fine. Like
crazy.
he naturally aged.
Yeah.
But it just shook me to my core. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And then like
you used to make me tingle and now I'm like, ew.
I'm sorry, it's so funny. I was laughing earlier because it's funny that like he was your sexual awakening. A literal fictional character was my sexual awakening.
Wait, who's yours?
Haku from Spirited Away.
Oh, I've never seen that. I need to see him.
And he has like this bowl cut, and he's like a little kid. But I was like convinced I would marry that dude, like as a child.
Isn't it crazy what our little kid brains do, or what they know before we know what we're feeling?
Yes. Yes.
It's like, oh, Bernard from the Santa Claus. Like, what am I feeling? Why do I like that little hat he's wearing? I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's crazy. But then the other thing I was gonna say is that like Jack Quaid was in it too, and I'm like, yeah, what are you doing here?
Fucking Josh Peck came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I know there were more. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny because Jack and I were talking as well. Rami Malek, who was like the spoiler alert, he was the scientist at the end who like testified against Robert Downey Jr.'s character. And he's huge. He's gotten so many different awards. Like he is a big name actor. And the fact that Nolan gave him the tiniest role, I'm like, that should be a crime. That should be a crime. Because you're wasting his talent.
Yes, but I also think with such a big director, he can probably convince anyone to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I know Matt Damon was like, oh, the only way I'll come out of retirement is if Christopher Nolan calls.
Yeah.
And he called.
And he did.
So, like, yeah.
Florence Pugh had the same reaction as well, where it's like Christopher Nolan kept apologizing for how small the role was, but she's like, I don't care, like I will do it. And so I mean, it makes sense. So
yeah.
Okay, very nice. What are you listening to?
I honestly feel like I haven't been listening to anything too exciting. I just started my August 2023 playlist. So like I'm working on trying to build it up. But you know what I've been into? I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there's this one song called Praising You by Rita Ora, which is like kind of like it samples that old 90s song by Fatboy Slim, where it's like I'm trying to think of the. I have to praise you like I should. I have to praise you. Yeah? No. Okay. Well, anyways, that's a song, and it's a bop, and I've always loved that song. So then Rita Ora like came out with a new version, and I'm all over it. And then I literally discovered the song today. So like, don't take my word for it. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about it. But it's called Something Real by Post Malone.
Oh, very nice. I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I think it's off of his newest album.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to go listen to it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll add it to the playlist we started.
Because we made you made a playlist.
We did. I did make a playlist, but I think before we like put it on our links and stuff, we're gonna build it up a little.
What am I listening to? So I don't know where this it fell under the radar, but Anne Marie, I don't know if you know her.
Yes.
She's had a couple of hits in the US, but her newest album called Unhealthy was released. And so I've been listening to that, and it's super fun. I really like her title track, Unhealthy, which is so funny because it features Shania Twain, which is so interesting.
That's random. But
I
go
know,
off.
but like a title track would be like featured. Like that's weird to me. I feel like you don't see that often.
Yeah.
But it's actually really good, and I feel like a lot of title tracks lately have been letting me down.
Yeah.
So Unhealthy has been great. So
Cool. I'll have to give it a listen. What have you been consuming? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna ask you the same question.
Oh, look at that.
Same shit. Same healthy, boring stuff. But I'm gonna be eating like crap the next couple of days because I'm going on a writing retreat. So
As far as what I've been consuming, I haven't consumed it yet, but I am going to be making buffalo chicken dip tonight.
stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm really excited. Like I'm like my
Shut
mouth is watering.
up.
Like I'm about to cry tears of joy. I'm so excited.
Wait, shut up. That I literally haven't had that in so long.
It literally, it felt like I was talking to my mom on the phone today, and I was like, it literally came to me in like a dream. I don't know where it come from. No one mentioned it. I all of a sudden was just like, I need buffalo chicken dip. Like
Yeah.
I just
Okay, what's your recipe? What do you put in? Is it like how do you cook it? Like do you tell me everything? Because I have my own recipe that literally every time I bring to like a potluck, everyone's like, "This shit is so good."
yes,
I'm like,
same.
"Yeah!"
Yeah, I know it is. What up? Flips my hair that's in a fucking bun. No, it's like there is cream cheese, blue cheese crumbles, ranch, Frank's Red
gosh.
Hot, shredded chicken.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a really simple recipe, but
Yeah,
it's
it is.
really, really good.
Do you put it in like a crock pot or is it like in the oven?
I put it in the oven, but I could put it in a crock pot. But it's like, that takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where my crock pot is. Let's be real.
That's a problem, but that's okay.
It's lost to the world somewhere. It's either in my hellscape of a basement or it's gone.
Something, yeah. Okay, that's fine. It's just a crock pot.
It's just a crock pot.
It's just a crock pot. They're on sale every Black Friday.
They're literally on sale always. No one wants
Yeah.
crock pots anymore, which is a shame. Because you know how much stuff you can cook with a crock pot?
Yes. It's because, like, the Instapot is, like, your new thing. But I'm very excited for your buffalo chicken dip.
Thank you.
Damn.
Thank you.
See, if you lived closer, we could cook it together.
I
know
know.
what I mean?
Wouldn't that be magical? We could make, like, Jack do a blind taste test.
Yeah,
That
really.
could start some arguments.
I know. But he honestly would not give a crap because he loves buffalo chicken
He's
dip.
like, I don't care what kind
Yeah.
it is, who it came from. I'm going to eat it and I'm going to love it. And that's my
Yeah,
vibe.
exactly. All right, pop culture.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do
let
you
me
want to go
pull it up.
first? I've been going first the past couple of
Okay.
episodes, so I think it's your
Okay.
turn.
All right. I will go
Okay.
through the 3 things I have compared to your 8. So, the first thing I have to mention, which is very sad news, is that Angus Cloud, who was an actor in Euphoria, passed away this past week at the age of 25. And it was from an overdose. And a lot of people are saying it like very much coincided because his dad had died a week before. And it sounds like Angus was having a really, really hard time coping with that. And then that happened. And so I have so much, I'm sending so much love to his family because I can't even imagine like losing 2 people like that in like the span of a couple weeks. And it's so sad what grief can do to people. And that's something Zendaya said, like when she posted about him, she said in her message, she was like, remember to be kind because grief looks different on everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know if it's gonna affect you in the way where it's like, unfortunately brings you to your lowest low, or some people's grief looks like completely acting like they're not grieving at all, and like the opposite. So it's like, again, you can't judge anyone for that. So I think but everyone was like speaking out about how like how like positive of a person he was and just whatever. So yeah, not good news. And it's always sad when it's someone young and like who you're like, oh, they have so much potential, and they're like,
I know.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way. It reminded me very similarly of like both Corey Monteith and like Mac Miller's death. Like they're both kind of similar age ranges, like all just kind of up and coming in the industry. Like, yeah. So it's just unfortunate when this history repeats itself.
I know. And it like, I like never get used to like the surprise of it. Like it's always just so shocking and so heart-wrenching, like every single time. And yeah, no, that was a very big surprise that I saw coming, that I didn't see coming.
I thought it was fake at first. I really did.
Me too. Well, you sent that to me on TikTok or Twitter or whatever it was, and I was like, is this real? Because like TikTok lies sometime, okay?
They do.
And I was like, oh my God, is this real? And then I got a notification from my news app that he had officially passed. And I was like, oh, it is definitely real. So.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. And then another thing I wanted to touch on, which I feel like you probably have this on your list as well, but all the stuff surrounding Lizzo's controversy. So basically, here's what I know from my knowledge. So if you have anything to add, please let me know if I missed something. But basically, a few of Lizzo's backup dancers are speaking out about like harmful working conditions, like with Lizzo and her team being racially insensitive, like body shaming and all of these different things. And I think the girls who are speaking out about it were also on Lizzo's Emmy-nominated or Emmy-winning series, Watch Out for the Big Girls, I think it's called. And yeah, so now they're suing Lizzo over this, and it's just wild because then Lizzo just finally released a statement that basically was like, this is all untrue, like whatever. And she's like, sometimes we have to make tough decisions because these girls were fired, which is part of kind of what prompted them to do this. And so it's just very interesting. I remember when I first heard it, I was wondering how Lizzo was going to approach it, because it's like, you can either go the denial route or you can go the apology route. And yeah, I'm just really curious to hear what will come of that, because Lizzo's has done so much good for body positivity, like I don't even know how to say it, like whatever. But anyway, she's been very vocal about her beliefs and making people feel comfortable and like acceptance in general. And so then to hear this was like, of all the people, this is happening with Lizzo, like it was very shocking. And so I guess I'm curious to see how things will move forward, because I think, sorry, now I'm talking a lot, but I feel like this brings up such a bigger discourse. It's like, I think we've seen time and time and time again with women especially, it's like cancel culture is so different with women versus men. And like, I think we love to like just jump on the bandwagon, like the minute something is wrong, it's like we're gonna cancel them, we're gonna all of a sudden like hate on them, whatever. And it's like, I'm just trying to like wait for more facts to come out and see what happens. And it's always so difficult because you never want to be the person who doesn't believe the victim of these things, right? Because it's hard enough to speak out about those things, right? Exactly, and you don't want to assume ever that they're doing it for clout, doing it for attention, whatever. But then on the other side of it is like, is it fair to just automatically jump and blame Lizzo for all these things when we don't know the full story? You know what I mean? So I think I'm waiting for more information to come out of it, and I'm trying to be better about not jumping on the bandwagon either way, and like just giving myself a chance to learn before I'm making assumptions.
And that's very valid. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people can't do, because everyone takes sides immediately. The moment that anything blows up, they're like sides constantly. But no, you're right. Like I think what was so hard about it is that it came from her, when her whole entire brand persona is body positivity. And I think that was the most jarring thing ever, with the accusations of like sexual harassment and bullying and all of this stuff for like the women's sizes and all that stuff. And so it just feels so jarring to have this news come out when Lizzo has made it her entire persona, brand, statement, all that stuff. So, yeah, I honestly did not see that one coming this week.
I did not.
Like, I was like, what is happening?
That's the last thing I would expect.
Yeah.
So just very shocking.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, so that's that. Then the last thing that I have is that Gabby Windey, one of the previous bachelorettes, just did an interview on The View where she came out that she was dating a girl. And so, which is very interesting because that's the first female lead of The Bachelor who has come out as like bisexual, or I don't know how she identifies, but she was like, I'm dating a girl. And similar to Colton Underwood when he came out as gay, and now he's married to a man. And so it's just very interesting. So good for her. Again, it's just a very, very shocking.
Wait, so was she a contestant on The Bachelor, or is she the Bachelorette?
She was a contestant, and then she was the Bachelorette.
Whoa! Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm happy she found some happiness.
Right? Yeah. Like
after going through that 2 times, like, girl, you deserve it.
No, exactly. I'm like, you know what? You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
So, but,
Very
okay,
nice.
sorry. Now I'm going on all types of tangents, but it's also unfortunate that it has to be, like, a big deal for someone to come out with who they're dating. Like, I get why. Trust me, I understand. And I am a very straight person, so I'll never understand what it feels like on the other end, right?
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the pressure that those people feel and, like, the shame that comes along with that. But also just reminds me how annoying it is. Like, it just sucks that it has to be such a big announcement or be such a big talking piece. Like, why can't she just date a girl and, like, live her life?
Yeah. And I think
who cares?
I mean,
in the nicest way possible. You know what I mean?
Yes, I understand, because, like, it should be a normal thing. Like, it should be just like, oh, yep, like, here's my partner. Like, here's my boyfriend. Here's my girlfriend. Like, whatever. And unfortunately, for some people, it is not. So I think we are making better progress towards that. Because I'm like, okay, cool. Like, good for her. Like, yeah, really good for her. She's living her best life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Because, like, in some instances, it is a very big thing. So, very nice. Those were good pop culture items.
Thank
okay,
you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to thank my mom and God.
Okay, so you got 2 of my things, so I have 6 left. So my first one is that today Taylor Swift announced more dates for her Eras tour in the US and Canada. And I'm like, girl, are you tired? She is doing 6 shows in Toronto next year. And then she has like 3 shows in Miami. And then she's going to Indiana. And then she's going to Charlotte, I think maybe.
It
I
is
don't know.
absolutely crazy. That woman don't stop. And what I will say, I have a lot of respect for her. She just gave across all the people working for her.
Yep, that was my next thing.
$50 million in bonuses total.
Yeah.
Like, good for her. Because, like, I think that just says a lot, because a lot of people wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, it's like, she could not do what she does without those people. And people forget how much goes into putting on such a production like that. So
exactly.
I have a lot of respect for her for that.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's a billionaire that I respect. Like that's she knows what she's doing. Like that's crazy. And she's done that for like all of her tours in the past, which again just like goes to show her heart and to really like show appreciation to the people that work really, really hard to make her tours as successful as they are. So, love her. Okay. Emily Henry announced her 5th book called Funny Story, and it's coming out next April, and I am so excited.
I'm so jazzed. There was like a little snippet about it, and I already have 5 million questions. Like, I already want to know the whole story. And we were guessing based on little clues she gave that the cover was going to be like purple themed, and it is. Yeah. So I am very excited for that. I will literally read anything Emily Henry writes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Also, alongside that, I don't know if you saw, but Allie Hazelwood posted the first page
I
of
did.
her vampire book. I forget what it's called.
Bride,
yeah. It was interesting. I read the first page and I was like, huh.
I think it's going to be different because, like, it's going to be fantasy. Like, we haven't gotten, like, Allie Hazelwood fantasy yet. Obviously, we know she can do romance, but, like, fantasy is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. So it's going to be, like, getting used to it, but yeah. I love when my authors, like, my favorite authors keep me fed. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. I'm like, thank you so much.
Honestly. I don't care, right? But it's like another pop culture thing that I want to just like update people on. That Timothée Chalamet has reportedly ended his relationship with Kylie Jenner after 7 months of dating. I thought it was fake the entire time, so I don't care. But I wanted to update our dear listeners who were intrigued, okay?
Yeah. No, that you're doing like God's work over here, but it's just like...
Thank you, thanks.
But yeah, I don't care. They never made sense anyway.
No, honestly not, no. Okay. My next one is that Cardi B threw a microphone at an audience member who threw a drink at her. And so that was like all the footage of that. I think it happened like last week or whatever. Okay, here's my piece, okay? Violence is not the answer, right? We all know that. But I think something happened during the pandemic where people are now just unhinged.
They have
thinking
no
that they
decorum.
thinking that they can do whatever they want at these shows. Like I'm like, no, you can't. Just because they're up on the stage by themselves and you can see them and you can kind of reach them does not mean you can throw anything at them. Like, Taylor Swift is getting friendship bracelets thrown at her. Niall Horan, I don't know if you saw the video, but someone threw a One Direction shirt at him, right? Shirts are fine, whatever. But still, you're throwing something, and he, like, chewed out that audience member, holding up the shirt and being like, do not throw things at me. It's crazy. And
it's
so, like...
just so unnecessary. Like,
yes!
I just don't understand why people are doing this. And, like... No, Cardi B should not have thrown a microphone because that could seriously hurt someone.
Yes. And
that could come back to bite her in the ass. But it's also like, I don't know why this has become such a thing in the media. Like, we've talked before about how someone literally threw a phone at BB Rexa and, like, cut her face up.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Why is this becoming a thing? Like, knock it off.
No, I don't know why people have the audacity or the thinking to think that that's okay.
Literally. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, honestly, it's not funny, but people were like, oh yeah, like someone's gonna come across the wrong performer when they throw that, and I'm like, yeah, the wrong performer was Cardi B because you think that she's not gonna fight. You're going up against Cardi B. Yeah, Taylor Swift's not gonna do anything.
No, Cardi B, she gonna do something about it. Like what are you expecting?
Niall Horan's gonna like bitch you out, sure. But he's still very nice. Cardi B is not nice. No. Like, you should have known that. I don't know what you were thinking. But no, like you were saying, is gonna come bite her in the ass. There was like the person who threw a drink at her, right, was standing next to someone, and the microphone hit them both. And so the innocent bystander has reported the assault to Los Angeles Police Department because I think that's where the performance took place. So I don't know, it's still developing, but again, do not throw things, people.
Just like, stop. Literally
stop. Those are people still. They're just performing and doing their job.
Conversation. Like, why are we even talking about this?
I don't know. Dumb. Okay, my last one. Have you seen all of the book talk drama with all the hockey players, NFL shit? Like,
I have.
All of that? Okay. I have not done a deep dive, okay?
Yeah.
But I know that it involves Kiera Lewis, who is a very, very famous popular book talk reviewer on TikTok. And she basically went to an NHL game for the Seattle Kraken. I know my sports. And basically just harassed them the entire game and brought like a sign that said like, crack my back and do...
Okay, there's way more to that story.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay. No, you go.
Are you
sure? Go. Yeah, okay. Because I don't know the rest of the story.
So basically what it started out as is like, she was making TikToks about the Seattle Krakens or whatever. The Seattle Krakens gave her tickets. They made her a special jersey that said book talk on it. Like, they were playing around. They followed her on Instagram, using her for clout. Then all of a sudden, this wife of one of the players who had joked with her, followed her, like all these different things, then came back 4 months after the original TikTok and was like, this is unacceptable, like, this is so inappropriate, like, I'm not okay with it. And then Kiara's sitting there like, whoa, what happened? And so I know I was talking to one of my friends about it, and her point was like, the way that Kiara's doubling down is disgusting, like, consent can be retracted at any time. I totally understand that. But where I do understand where Kiara is coming from is that this wife never reached out to her privately to be like, can you take down the video? Like, I don't like this, like, whatever. So, like, that's where it became a thing. And then everyone was attacking Kiara. And, like, and then the Seattle Krakens unfollowed her. They didn't say anything. And she's just like, you said nothing was wrong until one person changed their mind and didn't even come to me with it. So it's like, yes, I think she was probably taking things a little too far with some of the things she was saying. And I do think there's a different standard for how men would talk about women and how women talk about men.
100%.
Because if men were saying some of the things that she said, or a lot of women say about men, we would all ream their asses out. It would be horrible. So, like, I think that there's a lot of different aspects. Like, my thought is that everyone's in the wrong in some way.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's definitely, like, a double standard at play. Definitely. And I think it just goes, this situation reminds me, as you're explaining, of the whole, like, Bridgerton, the musical thing. Like, I feel like, you can't, like, play into it for then to, like, back up and, like, blame the person that you had played into it for. Like, you need to recognize your own faults as well. Like, there was just not enough communication on both sides.
Yeah.
And then it just blew up. Honestly, I have not looked it up because I don't care. Sorry. Again, for our listeners.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's just crazy.
It is crazy.
But that's it. That's all that I have.
Alrighty. Well, basically, guys, we're going to jump into our topic of the week, which is pet peeves. So I think we did a part of this a long time ago, but we haven't talked about it since. And honestly, Selena and I were talking, and it's like, we don't have as many pet peeves as we thought for this time around. Yeah. But we're still going to talk about a few each. Yeah. We always have something to be pissed off about, so.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we literally always do. So.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Here's my first pet peeve. And I'm just going to use this time to just fucking go off, okay?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I am so sick and tired of feeling tired all the time. Oh. And that is probably people's pet peeve across the board. Like, why am I tired all the time? Yeah. Why are we all tired all the time? Like, what the heck? What? Sleep schedule this. Eat this, get off your phone this. No, none of that shit helps. You're still fucking tired all the time. I'm just sick of it. So I don't know if that's a pet peeve for myself. I don't know who I'm mad at. I don't know what part of it is annoying. All I know is that I'm tired and I want to feel well rested.
No, that's valid. And I think not only is it a pet peeve, I think it's just like frustrating in general because it's like, well, can someone tell me what to do? But then they do and then it doesn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I think that's like the most frustrating part.
Yeah. So that's just a horrible, whoever feels that way, even if it's in little spurts of time, feeling tired is just an annoying thing.
Okay, so my first one is almost kind of like a little two-parter, right? So the first one is that when people cut me off when I'm driving, okay? It's not too big of a pet peeve. It is a pet peeve, though, to make my list. It's annoying, right? I don't like being cut off when I'm driving. Cool. Here's when the bigger pet peeve comes in. When people cut me off and then proceed to slow down. Like, if you're going to cut me off, at least commit and go. Yes,
literally. Why are you slowing down for?
Yes.
You're literally now being the person who starts traffic.
Yes,
like, that's what you're doing. You're creating problems for everybody.
Like, you have the audacity. Exactly. You had the audacity to cut me off. Cool. And then you had the audacity to slow down. Absolutely not.
No.
Don't. Like, if you're going to commit.
Literally. And if you can't commit, don't do it.
Exactly.
Dumb bitch. I don't know who the dumb bitch is, but I hate him. Oh
Me too.
My second pet peeve.
Okay.
People who think they're better than others. Let me just explain.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's a very, very general thing to say.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like people who have judgments about groups of people or people who like a certain thing or whatever, and you're just acting like that interest or that thing about them makes them less than you because they like something. Like, why are you acting like that? Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
What if I thought you're less than for your stupid fucking interest? Fuck you. My God, it really makes me mad.
It's
like,
unfortunate because it's so common. Like, it's so common to come
Exactly.
across people who, like, think they're better than you because they think your interests are dumb, which is, I think, a problem for me because that's why I don't, like, tell people about myself. It's kind of like, it's like, oh, people are like, oh my God, I don't know anything about you. And I'm like, I did that on purpose.
Yeah,
like,
because
you know what I
gonna
mean?
Make me feel bad about these things.
Exactly.
Like, but it also comes down to the fact it's like, why are you caring so much about something someone else likes or does or looks like or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, what does it do to you?
I don't know. I think maybe it's like a pride thing. Like, they're just like,
why is your ego so big? Like,
I don't
what?
know.
Why are you acting so entitled?
I don't know, to make up for the small dick that they have. Just kidding. To make up for how, I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, I can't. Maybe, I don't know if the word is like entitled people, people who think they're better. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. Either way, it just makes me mad because it's just like, there's literally no reason for it.
I agree. My comment was not directed exactly towards men because I have also encountered women who think that they're better. Yeah. So sorry, 100%. I just needed to clear that up. That
no, everyone have penises, is what.
Yeah, everyone has an imaginary dick. Okay? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, because I've encountered men and women. Who think that they're
everyone of every vibe, whatever, can be fucking irritating as fuck.
Exactly. Yeah, entitled stupid bitches.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to move on. I'm just gonna keep going.
I know, right? Oh.
Okay. This is also another driving one. Okay. When people tailgate me, but in bumper to bumper traffic, like, dude, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Do you think being on my ass is gonna make anyone
the traffic go faster?
Like, I don't know what you're doing.
People love to be all up in your business, and I'm like, what is this doing for you except potentially putting us both in a more dangerous situation? You're being so dumb for no reason. Like, none of us are even moving right now in this traffic. So what is the point of doing that?
Yeah, and then when I move like an inch, they're right there. They're right on my ass. I'm like, I'm sorry. You need to chill. And I'm constantly like looking in my rear view mirror because I'm like, this fucker is gonna like crash into me. Like, what?
Literally.
What the heck?
See, sometimes when that happens, I want to just stop and not move until the car in front of me is like way in front. Like, I want to find some way to piss them off.
Yeah.
I don't because that's just annoying, but like I want to.
Petty. It only makes me spiteful. Here's an example. So I was going to a friend's house yesterday in bumper to bumper traffic. And this person was on my ass, and I was like, okay, whatever. And so there was a ramp that like merged onto the highway, and the guy had a trailer. So I was like, okay, like they were already kind of ahead of me. I'll let them merge, right? And he merges, and when the road like merges with the highway or whatever, it's a little wider. The guy behind me starts going to my right to go around. I speed up and sit in the middle of that wide ass lane.
Good. I'm like,
because guess what? There's bumper to bumper traffic up ahead too. Where the fuck do you think you're going?
Literally, why are people so impatient for no
reason? You're gonna get one car ahead. Like that's all you're gonna do.
Congratulations.
Right?
You
right?
win. Dumb bitch.
So yeah, no, it makes me spiteful. So I'm like, no, you're gonna stay behind me. You're not gonna go anywhere. I don't blame you at all.
Good for you. Set your boundaries, girl.
Thanks. Thank you. I don't think that's a boundary, but
I don't know, but fuck them. Okay. This is my type A slightly OCD vibes coming out with this one. Okay. But my last pet peeve is unorganized clothing drawers. Like when people just throw shirts, pants, whatever, just in a tangle of a mess in a drawer. And I'm like, your clothes are going to get wrinkled. It's going to be hard to find what you're looking for. Like, I just don't understand, like, why don't you fold your clothes? And I know that's my personal preference in my own shit, being like, everything needs to be folded and neat. So it's definitely my own thing, and people live differently, whatever. But for me, it just like, if I see a drawer like that, I feel the need to fold it. I do.
Okay, here's my question. For your drawers, do you have like actual dividers for your clothes, or is it just, it has to be folded in its own section and then it goes to the next and whatever?
Each drawer is a section. So I have like a pants drawer, I have a shirts drawer, I have a couple of shirts drawers, I have a jeans drawer. Yeah.
Okay, what about your like socks and stuff? Like,
and my socks are folded in a basket, and my underwear has its own basket within the drawer.
Okay, so there's that. Yep. Got it. Okay,
so
that was my question.
It's all going to be divided. Everything's going to have its place. It's really psychotic of me, but it just helps me feel like I know what to find and where it's going to be. Like, I don't know.
That makes sense. I mean, I have my stuff like organized, but I don't have like any baskets or any like physical dividers to like separate my like gym clothes from like my lounge clothes or whatever I need to fold in that drawer or whatever. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, my next pet peeve. When people don't wipe down the equipment at the gym, it's not that hard and it doesn't take too long. So why the fuck aren't you doing it?
Literally.
Are you in a hurry somewhere?
Again,
I don't think so.
It comes down to that like thing, whether it's the driving, whether it's someone being entitled, whatever. It just comes down to that feeling of like, why do you think you're the exception to the rule or whatever? It's
you are not.
It's just such, especially when it comes down to just such a simple thing. It's like, why do you have to be so annoying?
Yeah. No, you're not the exception. You are not the exception. Remember, you are not the exception. That's what I should start saying to people.
Yeah. And that's it. Those are pet peeves for the week.
Hopefully some people resonated with that.
I hope so, because everyone has their reasons to be pissed off, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Selena, want to tell everyone what our topic is next week, or lack thereof? What?
So, actually, like Theoni and I had mentioned earlier this episode, we are going to Vegas. Woo! And we are so excited. But because of that, we are just going to take a week off next week because we won't have time to record a new episode because Theoni and I are going to be living our best lives out there. So, but don't worry, we will be back the following week, and Theoni and I will be discussing the newest movie, Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is based on a novel, and it comes out sometime in August on Amazon Prime.
I'm actually so excited to talk about it because it looks like it's very much a book talk book, right? And I know that there's been mixed reviews on some of the book talk to movie vibes. So I'm super excited for this one. Yes. And it's going to be weird not recording for a week because we really have only done this once before in all of our episodes. So
honestly, though, it's not going to be weird for us because I'm going to see you like physically, but it's going to be weird to like skip a week. But
well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Bye.